Ford just wiped the floor with Trump. And no, that's not just a catchy headline. While the former president ramped up the rhetoric, Ford quietly made moves that left him in the dust. From record-breaking EV investments to bold decisions that defied political pressure, Ford is proving that innovation, not bluster, drives real progress. So what exactly happened? Why did Trump lose it over Ford's latest moves? And what does it mean for the future of the American auto industry? Stick around, because this story has everything: politics, power, and the kind of corporate clapback that's changing the game. You probably know Ford as the company behind the F-150, Mustang, and Explorer. But Ford isn't just a car maker, it's an institution. Founded in 1903 by Henry Ford, it revolutionized the modern assembly line and transformed American industry. Today, it's a global powerhouse with operations in over 100 countries, millions of vehicles sold each year, and deep roots in the U.S. economy. More importantly, it's one of the few automakers that stayed American-owned while evolving for the electric age, launching vehicles like the Mustang Mach-E and the all-electric F-150 Lightning. In other words, when Ford moves, the market listens. And recently, they made a move that Washington did not expect. So what's the real tension between Ford and Donald Trump? It boils down to this: vision. Trump has pushed hard for deregulation, fossil fuels, and traditional manufacturing jobs. His stance has often favored short-term economic wins over long-term innovation, especially when it comes to the environment. Ford, they've chosen the opposite path. In the past 2 years, Ford has invested over $50 billion into electric vehicle production and battery plants, especially in the American South and Midwest. That includes massive new facilities in Tennessee and Kentucky, creating thousands of jobs in clean energy sectors. And while Trump criticized EV mandates and mocked electric vehicles in rallies, Ford leaned into the future, publicly supporting the move toward electrification and tougher emissions standards. This wasn't just a disagreement, it was a clash of ideologies. And when Ford refused to back down, that's when things really heated up. While Trump talked tough on bringing manufacturing back, Ford was already doing it at scale. They broke ground on Blue Oval City, a $5.6 billion EV and battery campus in Tennessee, one of the largest automotive investments in U.S. history. At full capacity, it will employ over 6,000 workers and produce hundreds of thousands of electric trucks each year. And that's not all. Ford also launched Model E, a dedicated EV division designed to compete directly with Tesla. They signed battery deals with SK Innovation and even began reshaping their dealer network to support EV sales and service. Meanwhile, Trump was blasting EVs as bad for American jobs. But Ford's numbers tell a different story. Their electric F-150 Lightning became one of the most in-demand EVs of 2024. And in doing so, they proved that sustainability and job creation aren't opposites, they're partners. While Trump promised to lead an industrial revival, Ford quietly built one. That's how they wiped the floor with the politics and let the progress speak for itself. And Trump, he didn't take it well. After Ford's announcement of multi-billion-dollar EV investments, some of which were backed by the Biden administration's clean energy incentives, Trump took to Truth Social and Fox News, calling Ford a sellout, a puppet of Washington, and even hinting that the company was abandoning real Americans. He accused Ford of turning their back on gas-powered greatness and claimed electric vehicles were part of a globalist agenda that would destroy freedom on the road. But here's the kicker: Ford never fired back. They didn't need to. Their press releases stayed focused on jobs, innovation, and delivering trucks people actually wanted. CEO Jim Farley gave interviews emphasizing Ford's commitment to American workers and long-term sustainability, not political distractions. While Trump raged, Ford built, and that contrast, it didn't go unnoticed. Media outlets praised Ford's discipline. Investors rewarded their EV strategy, and everyday consumers, especially younger buyers, started seeing Ford not just as a legacy brand, but as a forward-thinking force. So what does this showdown really tell us? It's not just about Ford versus Trump. It's about two visions for America's industrial future. One clings to the past: combustion engines, deregulation, political muscle. The other bets on technology, sustainability, and global competitiveness. Ford didn't just survive the political heat, they thrived in it. By aligning with consumer demand and long-term trends, they positioned themselves as a leader in the post-combustion world. And that's something no campaign rally can undo. Meanwhile, Trump's resistance to electrification may resonate with parts of his base, but it risks alienating the very industries he claims to defend. Because the truth is, automakers can't afford to stand still. Not when China, Europe, and even rival US brands are sprinting ahead. This isn't about red or blue. It's about green. Green energy, green jobs, and the green light for the next generation of vehicles. Ford saw that. Trump didn't, and that's why the floor got wiped. At the end of the day, this wasn't just a clash between a car company and a former president. It was a test of who's actually steering the future, and Ford didn't just pass. They floored it. They built factories, created jobs, launched EVs that people actually want, and stayed laser-focused on the road ahead, while the political noise played in the background. So here's the question. Do you think Ford made the right call? Or is Trump right to push back against the EV revolution? Let us know what you think in the comments. We read them all. And if you want more deep dives into the real stories behind the brands shaping the auto industry, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Next up on Motorscope, the top 7 EVs that might be cheaper than gas cars by 2026, and how one of them might be hiding in plain sight.